All right, gonna start on the air compressor now. Gonna build me a gas-powered air compressor. Got a tank here. I gotta cut all these brackets and legs off the bottom. I'm gonna make new leg mounts out of that plate there. I got a compressor pump. I got a little Briggs & well, it's a Honda engine over there. We'll get it all on here, but first I gotta get these legs and old brackets off and then draw a map on that of how we're gonna cut it out and fold it, and I'll take it to work. Borrow the plasma cutter, cut that thing out, it'll be a lot faster and cleaner. Then we'll put those on there and we flip it over and get the engine mounted, get the pump on there, and have us a gas-powered air compressor for all sorts of fun. Okay, we've got the legs off there. Got a nice bare tank to work with. And it is upside down. I've got this. This was an electric compressor, but it was a fairly small flow rate one. And I got a pretty good deal on it. So I've cut the legs off there. I'm gonna take this piece and I'll figure out the radius of this tank. And I'll cut a radius to match in that plate. And then we've got a press brake at work. I can fold a 90 in there to run bolts through into whatever I'm gonna mount this to. And then I can also use their plasma cutter. It'll be a heck of a lot faster than grinding out a radius. It'll be a lot cleaner too. So let me get this plate up here. We'll get it figured out, marked out, and get her going. Okay, circumference of that tank is 45 inches. Do some math. Comes out to 14 inches in diameter. So I gotta figure out something to give me a 7-inch, something I can mark out. Do a little drawing, give me a 7-inch radius. I'm gonna take this and we'll radius it and then cut this in half, use this as a bottom mount, and then we'll go from there. That worked out pretty slick. Okay, got her all marked out. Take to work, we'll plasma that radius out. That's where the tank will sit, right in that saddle. And then I've marked this down 1.5 inches. I'll cut this plate in half. I've marked it down 1.5 inches and I'll fold that on the brake. Give us a flat spot to run a bolt through and bolt that thing down. And then we'll trim off these side pieces to make it look a little prettier, because who doesn't like a pretty air compressor? But I'll take that to work, get that done, and then we can get them mounted on there, and then shouldn't be nothing to just mount that motor and the pump. We'll go get us a belt. I've got the unloader valve. I'll have to stop by a hose shop and get a piece of copper tubing we can run for the discharge on the air compressor, but that should be quick enough. There's a hose shop right down from my work. Get that done. We'll have this thing mounted up. Should be pretty sweet. It's a 13.7 cubic feet a minute at 90 PSI on that pump end. So it should do plenty. I'm gonna put it in my truck, make it so I can take it out. I can use it in the garage until I can get a electric air compressor for in here. So we'll get this thing plasmaed out and folded up on the brake, and we'll bring it back and we'll keep going. I got those mounted. 48-inch belt was a little snug. Probably could have gone for a 50. Oh well, it should work. But I got it all bolted down. Looking nice. Got to figure out this valve now and get everything routed there, and then we'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do for this line. This fitting here is that it's got a ferrule in here for compression copper line. So I gotta go see if I can find some stuff that's fairly flexible, because I don't know how I'm gonna bend that. I wish I could. I've thought about pulling these out and converting them to pipe fittings and then just getting steel braided, like stainless braided line with JIC fittings on the sides, or instead of them compression fittings. But we get this valve out here, we'll get it in there and start messing around with that, see how that's gonna work. Hopefully it just falls right in there and works good. Well, what's really fun about the custom stuff is, you know, I go and bolt this engine down, and then this fitting won't swing around because it hits the engine. So hopefully this goes in and sits low enough that it'll clear the engine. But you never know. Okay, got that valve mounted. Throttle cable's run up here. It's down in there. So we'll have to figure out something on that little thing to help hold that cable housing a little better. But belt looks good. Coming along. Gotta go get some oil so I can put in the pump and the engine. A little bit of gas. We should be able to at least start it and maybe build a little. The pump end says I gotta run it for 30 minutes with no load to let it break in. So we could at least get that out of the way, and then it's the weekend, so hose shop ain't gonna be open to get that hard line. So we'll get that on Monday, and then I think we'll pretty much have it. We'll have to get a little clamp for that throttle cable, and then we can run it and test it and make sure she's gonna work and build air. I plugged off, I gotta get a drain fitting, and then I plugged off, there's a fitting down under there, plugged that one off. So I'm gonna have to get some pipe couplers or something and weld some fittings on here so we can have places to hook whatever we need. I need to build a T, put a little gauge in there, maybe put a ball valve in, so you have a place to hook up for some air chucks. So coming along. All right, that copper piece of tubing finally came in for the discharge here, so I was able to convert that to a stainless steel. Then I got it ran over to here. Got the throttle cable figured out. Had to go get some oil for the engine and the pump. Got everything topped off. And I welded in a bung there. It's just a 1/2-inch pipe fitting. Put a T on there. And I've got a bigger air chuck here for a 1/2-inch airline. Got a safety and a gauge. We'll see. Probably, I don't know, we'll have to talk to the guy that's buying it. If he's gonna come off of this, he's gonna put it in a Connex over at his yard. So I don't know if he's gonna come off this and go to like a bulkhead fitting or a hose reel, or if he wants me to put another small fitting on there. But give her a fire up, get it adjusted, make sure she runs. All right, well, I got her done. Works for me. Yeah, not bad. I had to adjust the throttle down in there. It was a little tight. That cable wouldn't quite pull it on the motor. But got that dialed in. Had to play with this, unload her a little bit, because I had to take it out to put that 90-degree in there. But all seems to be working good. Cuts out at 120, comes back in about 95. So should work dandy. So I'll take it all back apart. We'll paint it up. We'll call that one done.